Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. Like many of you, I am bursting with excitement right now because Sleep Token just dropped their new single. And I have been pleading with the universe that this would arrive before my baby, and it has. So let's all grab a drink and celebrate and do a deep dive analysis. Let's get to it.
Well, you were late in bus, living on a promised word. Well, I am the rose you relinquished again. You and I are down head first in another world I had. But I have a feeling we're close to the end.
This is delivering really well. And I want to talk about some of the things that I think are immediately working from the beginning. One of the things that I think is so smart they've done so far is they're really honing in on Vessel's voice. Vessel has an incredible instrument. This is just one of the reasons why all of your reactors and analyzers on YouTube go crazy for Sleep Token, because Vessel... he's able to sing in so many different styles, and he can even add harshes in. It's just the range of genres is incredible. And I think that his voice has so much ability to convey emotion as well. I absolutely love the layering style they do too. So immediately starting off this song by getting into his voice is amazing. Additionally, we've been anticipating this for a long time. I love the way that it's so comforting and kind of quiet at the beginning, because it's going to leave us a lot of room for growth and journey. They have an entire album that's coming out soon, right? I think it was May 9th, I want to say. We're going to have an entire album of music to relish. We need to start somewhere that has room for growth. I love that we've just got, I think it's just Vessel's voice and piano at the beginning. Back to the beginning. I'm also so interested later.
Living on a promised word. Well, I am the rose you relinquished again. You and I are down head first in another world I had. But I have a feeling we're close to the end. So
we're going to go back in this part and just appreciate some details here in his vocal. One of the things I really enjoy is how much air is left in the sound. We hear his breath, and not only the breath in the overall tone quality, but the breaths in and out afterwards. Additionally, there's this shifting of the sound, the reverb and the space that it's put in. It makes you feel like his voice is swirling all around you. And I'll pick out a specific moment to show you that when we get there.
Well, you were late in bus, living on a
you heard his inhale there very clearly, and there as well. So after, again, you could almost hear these like little bits of breath floating in and out of different sides of the headphones. Really cool. That happens more in a bit.
Down head first in another world I had. But I have a feeling we're close to the end. So
glorious, and they appeal to me so much, I think, partly because, I mean, with my background, of course, we've got opera, and so I love all kinds of things vocal. If I have vocal expression, I get really excited. Um, but I think there's a really appealing contemporary edge, like a little cry in his sound. And then the layers have a slightly electronic edge, production edge to them that reminds me a little bit actually of some of the layered vocals in Porter Robinson's music. I have always really enjoyed indie electronic music as well. We don't feature that on this channel as much, partly because I'm more familiar with it. And I think that Vessel is so successfully combining so many styles already.
Come on, come on, out from underneath who you
This is so inspiring and uplifting right now.
Come on now. You know that it's time to
I need to go back on that section just one more time. There's a certain way that he's milking his consonants. It's really cool, and it's a stylistic choice that I think is one of the things that sets him apart. Let's see, go back. So you can choose how you're attacking a consonant, and there are many different options. He's doing such a lengthy attack. It's like it's almost like you're like moving through hawking a loogie on that. It's going through all of the possible phases of a k that you have. You have the inhale, and then each part that it's almost like there's like a CH, like a cat hissing right before, and then he even lingers afterwards before opening up into the vowel. And another example of milking a consonant, instead of who, you, it's a you. He actually puts a shadow vowel in front of the u to give it a little more emphasis. He's lingering on certain initial consonants a lot. It's amazing how long that initial cut is. It's like juicy. That feels like Galantis a little bit. Speaking of indie electronic.
Dark light on my culture, sapphire on my white gold, burst out on my chest and hide out in the vents. My blood beats so alive, my bite right through your lens. It's midnight in my mind's eye, drowning out the daylight. Godspeed to my enemies, I'll be asking for that call sign. You know the behavior, canines of the savior. Glory to the legion, trauma for the neighbors.
I absolutely adore the sound palette that's being used here. I like that it's combining again so many different styles. We've got like an R&B kind of feeling that's happening here, but of course you have that indie electronic side as well. Sounds like an arpeggiator that's running up and down our notes. There's also this distinctly metallic sound that's buried a little bit underneath, but rightfully so, otherwise would overpower everything. It almost sounds like, gosh, like spoons being played, if you've ever listened to Spoon Man. Like, it's got that kind of clanky metallic edge to it. Super fun. And I really love the way that we know that Vessel has this ability to go up super high and just belt like crazy. He's keeping it low and letting this build right now. He's not giving it away too soon. Let's go back a little. With a woo. It's almost retro. There, that metallic sound entered in right there. And by the way, yes, baby did just like give me a full big whack. I think he feels my excitement. Right there. I like that metallic edge. It was really cool. Ooh, they're reeling us back again here. And that's the moment where we're like, oh yeah, this is metal. I feel that Sleep Token was completely robbed a couple of years ago with the Grammys. For me, it was one of the most revelatory moments of that year in metal was listening to Sleep Token. And I think that much of the internet agreed, if you just look at views on YouTube. But they didn't even make it into the top 5. They weren't even on the list to vote for the Grammys. And that was actually one of the reasons why I decided that I wanted to apply to be with the Recording Academy, because I wanted to be able to influence a little bit more how metal is perceived. I think that these awards, even though they're not always right, sometimes I disagree with who they're given to, of course, I still think that they're very meaningful and important. They can really help launch bands. And Sleep Token was robbed. They should have at least been in the top 5. Honestly, I probably would have given them a Grammy that year, period. It was just super, super amazing. But one of the reasons I think that they didn't make it is I don't know if people listening to the first few minutes of a song would consider it heavy metal. Did it fit in that genre? I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know why they didn't make it, but like Take Me Back to Eden, it takes a long time to get to something that feels like it's metal. This is some of the most amazing metal that I think is out there at this point. I think it's like a new direction and invention in metal, and I love it so much. But if you just listen to the first 2.5 minutes of the song, I don't know if a lot of people would call it metal. So I feel like I'm really hoping that they get a ton of notice this year, because they are reforming what people think of as metal. And I got very excited when it dropped in right here. Right? Now, it still feels like this could be like a vaguely experimental electronic at this point, right? And then here we go. That's sick. I know that you can multi-track these kinds of things. You can come in on top of your own voice, but where did he breathe in there? I was feeling like, okay, we really need a breath now. Oh, no, not going to take a breath. Oh, wow. He just keeps going and going and going. Energizer vessel.
I've got solar blessed for your dead god, space dust for your few rods, dark days for your solstice, dancing through the depths of hellfire on the winds.
Right, I still haven't heard a breath, y'all.
My blood beats so alive, my tear right through my skin. So tell me what you
Right there was the first time I thought, okay, I bet he took a breath there. I'm guessing that this was multi-tracked, but I don't know. He has to recreate this in live performance. They also released a tour schedule today, by the way. The North America Arena Tour. Ooh, that looks so appealing, y'all.
blood beats so alive, my tear right through my skin. So tell me what you meant by living past your half-life and lockstep with the universe and your well-past in the afterlife. You know that I'm sanctified by what's below. No matter what you do, no matter where you go, you might be the one to take away the pain and let my mind go quiet. And nothing else is quite the same as how I feel when I'm at your side. Come on, come on, out from underneath who you Come on now. You know that it's time
I can't tell you why that's so magical. I can get in here and analyze all of these different aspects, especially of voice, also of music, but dang, when you get moments like that, where it's just like shiver wave after shiver wave, like, it's magical. It's magical. I love how this entire, this song and a lot of their music I've heard as well, it has these chapters of progression that each seem to deliver more than the next. It's like they know how to level up so well. It's just totally brilliant. And I also am so amazed by how the visuals are so enticing, even though it's not a full-blown band playing performing music video thing. It's like we just have fire and some movement of flowers and sparkles, but still feels like some incredible fantasy scene from Game of Thrones. And this is like, oh my gosh, what if this music was paired with Game of Thrones? Not the last season, one much earlier. That's so beautiful. That chord that they enter with, that, gosh, I'm trying to remember what that one's specifically called. There's a name for that one. It has this sentimentality to it. It has hope in it. It isn't just minor dark things are bad. It's like things are sad, but they're gonna get better. I love the backings here. This is one of the things I like about a lot of contemporary metal. I think the messaging is very encouraging. A lot of times there are these darker, while people might feel encouraged in some way from the song. In general, there's some, in metal, there has often been some darker messaging or really heavy, awful things, essentially, that make you have a little bit of feeling like you've what's the word, exposed. I'm going to blame some pregnancy burn right now, okay? But that make you have a purging sort of emotions. And I think that's an amazing way to actually uplift people. But for me personally, I actually prefer having a little more straight up uplifting message. And this idea of By the way, lyrics are already out for the song. It's been released for like, what, I don't know, 6 hours? Lyrics are already up. Come on, out from underneath who you were. Come on, you know that it's time to emerge. This idea of self-evolution, of growth, I totally dig it. Yes, growing strong is my house. Thank you again, Game of Thrones. So many references to that today. But I think that a lot of newer metal is exploring different emotions that we can put into metal and rock as well. You have bands like Electric Callboy, which are straight up just goofy, happy metal. I love that combo. And I think that as we evolve more and more in this metal genre, we're finding tons of different ways to bring the messaging to really marry the music in a lot of unexpected ways too. Let's go back just a little bit. I swear that I hear so much Galantis in this production. Ooh, that's edgy. So that melody that's played in our instruments here is echoing the melody from Come On from just before. And they did a really fun strategy right before diving into it. Let's go back to this moment, see if I can find it. So at this part, we have a lot of the bass dropped out. It's kind of shimmering up high, even though we have a lower voice. The real beefy stuff is gone. And the woo! Oops, sorry, Mike. I think I peeked you. When it does the whoop going up, it draws our ears upwards, and then they slam it down with this like sausage of sound that's hanging out low. Got good shock factor. Interesting because that was the first section where I felt like the sound started to get just a little bit mushy altogether. In general, all of their sounds have been super, super crisp, and I'm guessing they actually were going for a little bit more mush there. There are so many layers at this point that are occurring. So it's almost like they just start blending together a lot more. Whew. I'm actually really amazed at how much punch the drums are coming through with. They're very, very present in this piece. Especially the middle ones. This is so shimmery. What? Uh, saxophone has made an entrance. I never imagined that we would have a saxophone in here. Gosh, recently I did another analysis of a music video that had saxophone in it. I think it said, nothing says sexy like a saxophone. We even did some polls in that live premiere talking about which instruments say sexy the most. Saxophones won, by the way. Spoiler. Nothing says sexy like a saxophone. This one is, there's steamy there, but it has so much smoothness. It's like, ooh. Wow. It's like steaming melted chocolate. It's not just hot chocolate, y'all, because hot chocolate has a lot of milk in it. Like, we're talking like drinking chocolate that's steaming here. Okay. Whew. Whew. The crazy thing is, it works. I don't know how it works. It works though. Let's go back further. Now, I need to get this transition. The magic is in the transitions with Sleep Token because they have so many different chapters that they're pairing together. I mean, it's like Dream Theater has met indie electronic music. And the way that they transition between chapters is truly, truly astonishing. So they're using a similar technique to what they've used before, where they basically clear out the sound so that something new can emerge. Hey, Emergence. Actually, one of the things I'm seeing a pattern in is they often have little sort of shiny sounds that it's almost like there's a glimmer of a sound that comes in these transition areas that add bonus interest. It's like, it's not only are they clearing out the sound, they're also making our ears percolate. There's our glimmer right there. The phrasing of the saxophonist is beautiful. I gotta say, this reminds me of those wild genius moments that we sometimes encounter in truly fantastic musicians who are pushing boundaries. It's like when Freddie Mercury says, and now the opera comes in. Who would have thought the Bohemian Rhapsody would work so well? But the opera course, that's amazing. I love the opera section. I love it. Of course I do. I love opera. But can you imagine? I don't know who had this idea. But can you imagine the person going to their band and saying, and here's where the saxophone comes in? They're like, oh, what? What you on, man? The audacity of it is just astonishing. Yet, after what we've been through in this song so far, it is so soothing. And it just works. Right? Yes, we could have done it with the piano. We already have had the piano in quite a few times. We could have had that soothing outro, but Sleep Token likes to always add something new, and it feels like they're really going for a soothing end here to wind us down. I think that the saxophone has that smoothness to it. Also, very long phrasing with the saxophone helps aid in that soothing kind of sound. Some instruments are going to have that smooth, soothe feeling more than others. I'm curious what other ones came up as possibilities. Like, for example, bagpipes would not have worked here. But you needed an instrument that had enough roundness in the sound that it could follow this massive section that we had just before. Here's the jazz section. The lounge jazz section. Is it gonna fade? Oh. What is this? What is this? Let's see if I can catch. Shoot. I want to catch one spot here. Ah! Oh my gosh. Okay, so if we just pause on this blip in and out, that the figurine that's in the back kind of looks like one of the figurines that they had in their music videos before that were spinning around. Of course, we have a knight here, but knight has a slightly modern look to him at the same time. So maybe we're going like a little more cyberpunk, and it's burning down there at the same time, which makes sense because we've got sort of a reinvention of themselves that it feels like is coming with this album, and this burning of the flag as well. So this idea that, gosh, it feels like a revolution is coming. Oh my gosh. This makes me even more excited for the new album. What a fun tease. Yeah, the flag is gone now. Ooh, there was another image at the end. You guys have probably done this too. Oh, dude. That's like something straight out of Elden Ring. Not only does this make me really excited for the album coming out soon, but I also feel relieved because sometimes you hear a new single from a band you love and you're just like, dang it, I don't love this direction. And I love this direction for Sleep Token. It feels like the stuff I've loved from the previous album, but they're going somewhere new. I think that saxophone edition was so bold and still really, really worked. I can't wait to hear more. And I will try to put out analyses of their new songs as soon as I can. I am expecting a baby in the middle of this. So if you can't wait for more analyses of Sleep Token, check out old ones on the channel over here on this playlist. And may you fall more in love with music every day.